that official introduction. 5'3" with the big brown eyes and a smile that's lethal. She on the vlog lane now, coming for the title, believe it.
I knew it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, T. Michelle, back here with another video. We doing another review of The Chi, y'all. This is our weekly review of The Chi. Episode 5, y'all. We at episode 5 already. Goddamn. So what that mean? We got like 6 more episodes? Maybe 6? Who knows? Girl, the dead of winter. They should have called this episode Fuck Around and Found Out because, listen, y'all can't see the shirt, but that's what the shirt says. The shirt is backwards, but the shirt says Fuck Around and Found Out because this was a Fuck Around and Find Out episode. Because, girl, I knew it. You just might as well call me psychic because didn't I say it? Then I had said what I had said when I had said what I said. Girl, let's get into it. So once again, we are doing this, in the episode with Tiffany and Nuck and start the episode with Tiffany and Nuck. I'm happy that they don't make us wait, but even still, I was just like, is this like a new thing now? We're going to start the episode with one person and keep it going. Like, okay, y'all ain't leaving nothing up to suspense this season. All right, no problem. Tiffany is like, sir, I want to know what is going on. Like, what is Bakari talking about? Like, what he mean by niggas is gonna find out what you did? And of course, this nigga is still in his feelings. And ladies, if you didn't know what gaslighting looks like, this is what gaslighting looks like. When a nigga is trying to gaslight you, like when you want to know some information and you need to know some information, and you give the exact question for the information, and he just start talking about some shit that don't got nothing to do with what you asking. Talking about, oh, well, it ain't like you love me. I know that you don't love me, and I know that you don't trust me. And I was like, nigga, that ain't what she asked you. She asked you what the fuck Bakari was talking about, sir. You gonna answer her? And of course, he don't tell the truth. He goes and he says, oh, well, I kind of made a deal with Toussaint to like protect me. I've been, giving information, and Toussaint been protecting me. And she's just like, oh my God. I didn't know I was sleeping with a snitch. Girl, do you care? Girl, do you care? Because I don't think that you care. Because when that man was on that staircase, all in between your legs and halfway in your butt and all in your inner thighs and all type of shit like that, you wasn't, and he was killing people unnecessarily that you knew about. You wasn't giving a fuck if he was a snitch. So, girl, please, do you care? I wouldn't care. Say what you want to say about Nuck, but Nuck is fine. Nuck is fine. That, like, if you are a woman like myself, that every now and again, you like the little gentleman kind, you like the kind of guy that's real sweet and nice, but ever so often he can get some real thuggish, ruggish bone on your ass. Yes, that's Nuck. To me, that's Nuck. So then we go to Reg and Jackie. They up in this abandoned building, and I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like, they spying on people. They trying to get pictures. This is like some, what's that shit called? Watergate. This is like some Watergate type shit. What they doing in this building or whatever? Then I seen the gun and I said, oh God. And y'all, I knew as soon as I saw the gun, and it wasn't no little pum pum. It wasn't the little pum pum. It was the big pum pum. And they up in there and they looking, and there's this lady in there on the phone talking and having a good old time, not knowing this is her last day on earth. I said, that look like Nora. Girl. And Red's talking about, don't miss. And Jackie like, I'll never miss. Some real gangster hood shit. And they pum her. and it's all over with. And I said, girl, I knew it. Like when they said, oh, when Patience was like, oh, I got eyes on her and she good, and she told Rashad, and Nora told Rashad, like, oh, I'm good, like your girl got me good, it's all right, she got me protected. I was like, this bitch gonna die. Like, am I the only person foreshadowing this, that this bitch is gonna die? She's saying all the shit that somebody that's gonna die says. Anyway, they pume her, and I'm like, well, why the fuck? Why Reg do it? Like, and then he get on the phone and text Rosalind talking about it's done. I said, damn. Candy, where you at? Candy, you ain't doing nothing. Like, you not on the Real Housewives no more. Like, why you can't make a little appearance or whatever? She probably will. I guarantee she probably gonna make a little appearance by the end of the show. But I'm just like, Candy, where you at? You having people killing people and doing all this type of shit is coming back to you, and you ain't nowhere to be seen. But yeah, anyway, rest in peace, Norva girl. I told you. So Emmett comes up in the living room. Now, why you would be doing this in the living room is beyond me. But I know for a fact that boys are stupid. Well, men are stupid. So boys are definitely stupid. Like when it comes to certain things. And they claim that men think the way they think because they logical. And that's why they be getting so upset with women for being so emotional, because we think on an emotional level. But if y'all are so smart and y'all think as far as logic, what would possess you to go sit in the living room while your parents is home and watch Corn? So Emmett walks in and catches him watching Corn. And he like, what you doing? Don't act like we all haven't done it. We all have done it. Y'all remember, if you are anything of my age, y'all remember the Skinamax. Y'all remember the Taxi Cab Confessions. Y'all remember The Real Sex on HBO. Y'all remember that? And you used to put that shit down real low. This episode was for real like nostalgic, because it was really like a blast from the past of things we used to do compared to how they do shit now. Like back in the day, we never would have did that. Like us millennials, we didn't do that. We used to go wait till our parents went to sleep, go and turn the TV all the way down, put on that closed caption, and as soon as you hear a sound, you turn that shit up, put it back on cartoons and shit. Like, don't act like none of us did that. We all watched Corn at young ages when we wasn't supposed to be watching Corn, because I guess that's just something that you do. You curious as a young one, you want to know. But you know, he catches him watching Corn, and he realizes that, oh shit, you know, it's time to have that talk with him, the birds and the bees talk. So he goes and he tells Keisha that he just caught him watching Corn. And Keisha's like, well, I mean, he's 12. What do you expect? It's time for you to have that talk with him. He's like, damn, why I gotta have that talk with him? Nigga, because you his father. You his father. You have the same equipment that he got. Who better to hear from than you? Like, come on. And Keisha's like, you can't just talk to him about sex. You can't just talk to him about actual intercourse. You have to talk to him about consent. You have to talk to him about emotions. You have to talk to him about feelings, relationships. You have to talk to him about stuff like that. And Emmett is like, damn, I don't want to talk to him about stuff like that. Like, I don't feel ready to talk to him about stuff like that. And Keisha's like, well, if you don't talk to him about stuff like that, you know, he gonna end up just like you. And he's like, what you mean by that? What's wrong with that? And all she did was look at him. He knew exactly what she meant. Nigga, you got a whole bunch of kids spread out all over the place. The only sex talk that you had, and you admitted, is that your father told you to use condoms, which you obviously didn't listen to. So, I mean, yeah, she's absolutely right in what she's saying. Again, we talking about breaking generational curses. Your father didn't speak to you about sex, so it's only right that you break the generational curse. And he didn't talk to you about sex because his father didn't talk to him about sex. So now it's time to break the generational curse and prepare your son. And that's basically what Keisha was saying. So Rashad's bum ass, and I'm gonna keep calling him that, y'all, because he is a bum. But Rashad's bum ass is with Patience, and Patience finally brings it up like, oh, I have a son. What do you think about kids and all type of stuff? And he's like, oh, I ain't got no problem with kids, and I love kids, and da da da. And I think I'm a good role model, and I'm this and this and da da da. I ain't got no problem with it. And she's like, okay, well, he's like, well, when do I get to meet your son? And she's like, well, you gotta meet his father first. He like, the father? And she's like, well, that's an agreement that we have. If we're dating somebody seriously, the other person got to meet the spouse. And listen, y'all, I 100% agree with that, because if it were me, and I ain't got no kids, but if it was me and dude, my ex had my child around some little hood booger bitch. Let me not be petty. But if my ex had my son or my daughter around another woman or whatever, I would definitely want to know who she is, what she looked like, and get a vibe for her. And I wouldn't be on no weird shit, you know what I mean? But I think that's important. Like, I don't understand why that's always a problem. And I think it's a problem because that's just like the norm. But if y'all both grown women and if y'all are both grown men, it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you planning on being around like that. Now, don't go introducing me to every fucking bitch that you got a little weak in the knees for. Because I don't want to know all them hoes. But if you serious with somebody or you want to get serious with somebody, yeah, let's all sit down and have dinner. Let's all sit down and have dinner and talk. Like, that's how I see it. So, I mean, I agree. And Rashad agrees to meet dude. And he's like, all right, I guess that's fair. So I'll meet dude. And she's like, well, you'll be the first. Patience is so sweet. You can tell Patience don't be out there. And she not really experienced like that. But she's like, you'll be the first to meet my son. That's so sweet. So Emmett is gone to Darnell. And he's like, Dad, I caught Devontae watching porn. And he's like, well, he's 10. He's like, he's 12. He's like, well, anyway, it's about time that you give him the talk or whatever like that. And then they start discussing, well, you ain't never told me nothing. Well, I'm supposed to tell him, you ain't never told me nothing. And then he's like, well, ain't nobody ever told me nothing. And now it's time for you, like I said, to break the generational curse. And Emmett is like, well, that's a lot of responsibility. And he's like, listen, ain't nobody said it wasn't going to be responsibility. Ain't nobody said that it was going to be fair. Now, what he said, I think he said the line wrong. I could be wrong, but I think he said the line wrong, and they probably figured that nobody was going to catch it. But he said, what did he say exactly? He said the generation behind us always has to fix everything that we broke. And I don't think he meant to say behind us. I think he meant to say the generation in front of us, because I don't think that's how it goes. I don't think he meant to say it like that. I think he meant to say the generation that comes after us always has to fix the things that we messed up. And it's true, because we not doing stuff. Yeah, it's clear. I mean, it's very clear, and it's very clear out here these days that a lot of these kids out here is fucked up so much and doing all type of crazy shit, and they a little too comfortable, is because a lot of us, I can't speak because I ain't got no kids, and I know damn well if I would have had kids, I didn't have a problem with a lot of the stuff that my parents did, because I feel like it really saved me from a lot of bullshit, because I was hard-headed. I wasn't bad, but I've always been a little rebel. I'm a Gemini, you know what I'm saying? I always been a little rebel, and I always been a little, you not telling me what to do type shit. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that they implemented in their household saved my ass from a lot of shit. So I feel like a lot of people, especially if you had very strict parents, and then you turn around and have kids, it be on some shit like I ain't gonna do the same shit that my parents did, but not in a good way. Because now your kids think that y'all are friends, and they be cursing in your house, and they be doing all type of shit. They ain't even scared of you. Like if they get in trouble, they ain't even scared. If they get arrested, they ain't scared to call you. Like they just, yeah, ma, yo, I got arrested, yo, come get me. Like it be on some shit like that. So then Darnell was like, listen, I done apologized over 1,000,000 times for all the stuff that I didn't do for you and all the lessons that I didn't teach you, and I can't apologize no more. And even if I did, it ain't gonna change nothing. So you gotta sit the boy down and talk to him about sex, schmex. You gotta sit the boy down and talk to him about the birds and the bees. So then he's like, yeah, that's what Keisha said. And Darnell's like, see, that's why you gotta hurry up and marry her. And he's like, why you rushing me? He like, why you rushing me? He's like, I'm not. I'm just saying, you should hurry up and marry her. You should hurry up and propose to her. Like, you know, me and Riley was talking about. He's like, hold up. You told Riley? He's like, no, I didn't tell Riley. This man's a bad liar. But eventually he's just like, all right, yeah, I told Riley and all type of stuff, but she ain't gonna say nothing, and we all on the same page. And you just need to hurry up and propose to Keisha. Point blank, period. So Lene, oh, this girl make me so mad. So Lene, with all that mouth, she got all that mouth. And you hear gunshots and you, oh my God, I'm scared. Bakari, where you at, Bakari? Where you at? Like, girl, Lene up in the house. And she's scared because she know that she runs her mouth too freaking much. And she hears gunshots outside, which is very common in Chicago. I'm not even from Chicago, and I already know. It's the same thing like saying you heard gunshots in Brownsville. Get the fuck out of here, girl. That is so common. Like, stop. But she jumps on the phone. As y'all know, last episode, she kicked Bakari out. And Bakari was like, all right, ma, I don't care. I don't care, girl. Ain't nobody crying over you. Like, she had kicked him out, but she calls him and she's like, I'm scared. Can you come over because I'm scared? I heard gunshots. So Bakari comes over and they sitting on the bed talking, and she's like, I think somebody after me. And he's like, why? She's like, because I heard gunshots. He's like, this is Chicago. She's like, yeah, but I think somebody after me and I'm scared. And he like, I got you. I would have been like, bitch, you on your own. You ain't got, I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm homeless. Girl, don't call me over here for shit. But, you know, Bakari a little love bug. So he's like, I got you. And she's like, well, can you stay? And they go and they jump into bed. Now, I don't know if they was trying to insinuate that they was doing something, but that was whack as hell. Like, I was like, y'all not for real a couple. Like, I ain't seen no couple shit. Even the kissing is like, it don't be no tongue. It don't be no hands on her ass. This is Chicago. I'm like, y'all not no real couple. But anyway, he jump in the bed and they get all under the covers and stuff, insinuating that something happened. And I guess, you know, they were so tired out from all that love making. And then the next scene is them in the bed with all their clothes on, talking. And he's like, so yeah, I love you and I miss you. And she's like, I love you too. And he's like, I want to move back in. And she's like, no. She like, nigga, I just want some dick. Like, she ain't say that, but that's basically what it was. Like, nigga, I just wanted some dick. Like, I got a little scared, and I just wanted my big, strong, thuggish, ruggish, bone, gangster ex-boyfriend to come over here. That's it. You ain't moving back up in here. He like, so what you call me over here for? And she's like, because I was scared and I wanted you to come over. And he's like, well, I don't like you being in this house by yourself. And she's like, I'm not by myself. Papa's here. And he's like, what the fuck Papa gonna do? She like, don't talk about Papa like that. And he like, all right, but still, what is he gonna do? And she was like, listen, I'm gonna think about it. All right, I'm gonna think about it. He's like, all right. I'm like, Bakari, get up out that bed. Like, get out the bed and go home. And he's basically telling her, I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nowhere to stay. And da-da-da. So she's like, yeah, I'll think about it or whatever. Bakari, go somewhere. I said go to Jake's house. Go to Jake's house. Reg ain't there no more. So go to Jake's house. Like, what the fuck? I'm so tired of them. So the next scene, y'all, I love this scene. Emmett did such a good job. Like, he did such a good job. That is how you have a schmex talk with your pre-teenager. So he basically is talking to Devontae and trying to explain, you know, he was a little shaky. At first, it's a touchy subject, so you know, you don't really know, and he ain't never did it before. So it's a shaky topic, and you gotta approach it the right way. And he starts off a little shaky. And he's just like, yeah, you know, do you know what sex is? Do you know what it is? He's like, yeah, when you put your thing in a woman's thing, and then 6 months later, a baby comes out. He's like, boy, it is 9 months later. Like, oh my gosh, he really don't know shit. So yeah, he's telling him, he's like, no, it's like this. And then you have to ask questions. You got to find out what the girl wants and what she likes and what she's into. And he's like, well, how do I find that out? He's like, well, you got to talk to her. You have to speak to her and get to know her, and don't rush into nothing. You have to talk. And he said, because if you don't, you'll make the same mistake I did or some bullshit like that. And he was just like, oh, so I'm a mistake? And he was like, no. He's like, no, you're not a mistake. I love you. I love all your brothers and sisters, but I didn't go about it the right way with your mothers. And this is what I'm telling you, to go about it the right way. And then he's like, you know, if you got any questions, you can ask me any questions that you want. And this is what Emmett said that made me be like, there are grown-ass men that still do not get what he said. So the boy wants to know, when is it all right for me to on a girl's face? He's like, you don't do that. He's like, you don't do that unless she asks you to do that, unless she gives consent. He's like, what's consent? And he's like, well, that's when she gives you the okay to do it. You ask her and she says yes. Then you can do things like that. But don't just be doing that. Don't just be doing that. And he said, well, in the videos that I be seeing, they be doing it. And he's like, that shit is not real. And I said, Emmett, thank you. Thank you so much. There are grown-ass men that still don't get that shit is not real. And that them girls are being paid to do shit like that. Now, are there women out there that be on that nasty, freaky, nasty, pornographic, dirty, stinky, slutty hoe type shit? Yes, there are. But 9 times out of 10, no. Like, you don't go do that. That is so nasty, and it is disrespectful. So I'm happy that Emmett let his son know, like, no, you just don't be doing stuff like that. And then Devontae is like, why every time you talking to me, you keep saying partner? Like, why you keep saying partner? And Emmett is like, because I don't want to assume that you like girls. And he said, but I do like girls. He said, okay, then that's fine, but I didn't want to assume. And you need to understand that sex isn't just between a man and a woman. It could be between anything. And sometimes it don't even have to be actual physical things. Sometimes it don't even involve penetration. Like, Emmett broke it down to the boy. He broke it down. He was like, and it's okay to experiment with self-love. And he's like, well, what's self-love? He's like, well, you know, when you have some alone time and you do a little something. And that's fine. You could do that too. I'm like, you see, this is what I'm talking about. Some real deal conversation. This is some real conversation. And he's like, again, if you got any type of questions, you can ask me, you can ask Keisha, you can ask your grandfather. We all here, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. And the boy walked away prepared. He walked away like, no, I think I got it. Like, I don't have no questions right now, but I think you explained everything. Good talk. Good job, Emmett. So then the men is sitting down and they having a little drinky pool. And Emmett is telling the guys, I finally had the sex talk with Devontae. And they're like, yeah, that's good, because I ain't had the sex talk. And Victor is like, you know what? I didn't have the sex talk either. And maybe if I did have the sex talk, I wouldn't have tried to hide who I was for such a long time or whatever like that. It was a real deep conversation. Darnell is sitting there, and Darnell is like, you know what, son? I'm proud that you was able to do what I couldn't do. That was a nice scene. So then Keisha comes up with the bright idea that the boys need to get their phones taken away. Now, if it was me, I would have been mad if one of my friends got caught watching porn and I get in trouble and I get my shit taken away and I wasn't even watching nothing. Like, I would be mad too. Like, but somehow she got all the parents on one accord and they agreed to take the boys' phones and all type of shit. And what's funny is it's like, okay, damn, now they got to do all the shit that we had to do when we was growing up. We didn't have phones. I didn't have my first cell phone till I went to high school. When I was 9, 10, 11, 12 or whatever, I ain't had no damn cell phone. Like, please. Like, I got sent to school and I guess my parents prayed. Like, I pray she come home. But because I went to school in Brooklyn, my father was like, no, we got to get her a cell phone because God forbid something happens. She needs to be able to call home. And even still, y'all remember back in the day, we had them little Nokias. It wasn't much you could do. You couldn't watch no videos or shit on that. Like, it was just little text, and you had a nice ringtone and all type of stuff. Then you could possibly listen to some music or some shit like that. But y'all remember back in the day, it wasn't like that. But it was fun watching how they had to go to the arcade. They had to meet up at the arcade with people and all type of stuff. They was listening to music. They was doing all type of shit. All the shit that we had to do as kids. And guess what? Motherfucker, we went outside. That's why we not crazy. Not all the way. But we went outside. We got fresh air. Like, these kids today don't go outside. That's why they be acting all crazy. That's why they short-tempered and all type of shit. Because they don't go outside. We went outside. We went to the arcades. We went to the basketball courts. We went to the swimming pools, them community pools. We went to the community pools and was telling the boys, leave me alone. I don't want to be your girlfriend. Like, we was out there. We was outside. So it was nice to see them kind of get the older generation kind of get them. And like, y'all don't need phones to have fun. Y'all could go outside. So Rashad meets up with this cornball ass nigga. Like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, with this fake ass Godfather type vibe, you sitting up there looking out the window, looking at the birds and shit with your cognac, and you sitting there asking all these questions because basically he knew that Rashad had just came home and Patience is the one that got him out and that he was accused of killing somebody because he was touching on dead bodies and shit. So he's like, well, why the fuck would you do that? That's one of the things that I want to know. Why the fuck would you touch on a dead body, stupid ass? He's like, yeah, I loved her. It was my job to protect her. He's like, yeah, well, you didn't do that. You gonna do the same thing with Patience? He was like, no, I love Patience and all type of shit. It was a stupid ass scene, and this dude was mad corny. And then like he tried to play Mr. Tough Guy, and then he was like, nah, nigga, you cool. I let it go. I'm like, anyway, that scene was so not needed. They could have did that over the phone. So Lene comes down to Tiffany's little bar shit, and she looking for Tiffany, but Victor is there, and she's all, I need to see Tiffany. Like, I need to see her. And Victor like, yo, I don't know where she at. Oh, I need to see her. I gotta talk to her. He's like, well, she not here, but you know that you could talk to me. She's like, can I trust you? This scene, I'm done with her. She is so dramatic for all the mouth that girl got. How she turned so bitch is beyond me. You would think that somebody with that much mouth and that much attitude that she was staying on business. No, now she all scared. I'm so scared. I mean, so Tiffany. So Victor is like, well, tell me what's up. So she go and she play Victor the tape, and he's like, yo, I gotta take care of this. So she plays Victor the tape or whatever like that. And Victor's like, yo, you gotta send this to me. You gotta send this to me right now. I'll tell her. You ain't gotta tell her. I'll tell her or whatever like that. So then, now we get into the meat and the potatoes. Now we finally get into the meat and the potatoes. So Victor goes to Smokey's and he sees Emmett and he's like, yo, Emmett, fucking Nuck killed Rob. And Emmett is like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? He's like, yo, Nuck killed Rob. He's like, yo, how you know? And he's like, yo, I got the recording, da-da-da-da-da. Lene gave me the recording and blah, 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 blah. He's like, yo, we got to tell Keisha. He's like, nah, we got to tell Tiff. He's like, yeah, but Keisha got a baby with him. And Victor's like, no, but Tiff is sleeping with him right now. Like, what the fuck? He's like, nigga, I'm about to propose. Like, this is not a good time right now. He's like, no, we have to do this now. He's like, I'll do it. He said, all right, but as soon as you do it, you have to let me know so that I could tell Keisha. I don't want her to feel like I'm keeping nothing from her. He's like, all right, cool, no problem. So this scene was crazy. And this scene, we could see that Reg kind of got some heart. Reg got a little bit of heart in him, you know? So Reg come home and Jake is sitting in the living room. So he like, nigga, what you doing here? And he's like, yo, leave Bakari alone. He like, that ain't your business. And he's like, nah, I'm telling you, because you ain't even have to have him selling nothing for you. You ain't have to give him no work. Leave him alone. He's like, that ain't your son. He's like, nah, that's my brother. He said, nigga, I'm your brother. I feel like it breaks that nigga up inside. Whenever Jake says that, whenever Jake is like, this nigga is my brother, I'm looking out for this nigga, and whenever Victor is like, yo, you a scumbag, and you this and you that, I think as hard as Reg be acting, I feel like every time he hear that from his blood brothers, that shit break him up, and he be like, yo, it just make him more of an asshole. But he's like, nigga, I'm your brother. And he's like, nah, that's my brother right there. He's like, I ain't choose you. I ain't choose you to be my brother. He's like, that's right. God chose me to be your brother. God gave me to you. He said, nah, that was the devil. He said, nah, that was the devil, nigga. I ain't had nothing to do with that. He like, yo, get the fuck out my house. And and yo, they mad at each other. And Jake leaves. But they both standing on opposite sides of the door. And you can see Jake is like, damn. I hate this nigga, but he's still my brother. Like, I don't want it to be like this. If y'all remember, I'm going to give my little theory. But if y'all remember, when they mom had came back, I don't remember what season that was. But Victor had just came home. Victor had just got custody of Jake. And the mom, when they was doing the little community center, right when they met Bakari, when they was doing the little community center and stuff, and they mom had came back or whatever, and they had that little Thanksgiving dinner and shit, and they was all together and stuff, they tried with Reg. They tried to, you know, let's do the family thing. We brothers. Let's do the family. But Reg wanted to be on that bullshit. So this is my theory. Like I said, Jake is on one side of the door. Reg is on the other side of the door. Reg looked like he almost in tears. Like he fucked up. Like, damn. This nigga really hate me. He said I came from the devil. And he calling somebody else his brother that's not even his blood. This is my theory, y'all. This is why I think the disconnect comes in. So, y'all know that Victor nickname is Trig. Because he used to be that nigga out there on the street. He used to be popping niggas left and right. Pew, 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 pew. Right? And he taught his little brother how to basically be on that same type of timing. Then he went away and Reg became the big brother. And he was trying to put Jake onto being on that type of timing, right? That shit didn't work out because Jake is not built like that. But he was doing everything in his power to make sure that Jake was built like that. Because it was probably the same shit that Victor did. Victor probably did the same thing to him. But Reg got killed. And then Victor came out And Victor avenged his brother, so you can't say there ain't no love there, because that nigga came straight home and popped the dude that killed his brother, right? And I think Victor was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I see what happened. I trained him to be this way. He ended up in this type of life, and now look, he got killed. I ain't gonna do this with my baby brother. I ain't gonna do that. So he started straightening up, doing all the right things, and being a better role model for Jake, right? Now, Reg ain't dead. He come back. He's still on the same bullshit. They not on the same bullshit no more, but Reg is still on the same bullshit. But at the same time, Victor is looking at him like, nigga, you crazy, and you doing this and you doing that, and da-da-da-da-da. And Reg is on some shit like, nigga, this is how you brought me up. This is how you trained me. You raised me to be this way. And now you judging me and you coming at me for being exactly how you showed me to be. So I think that's where the disconnect come, and the hatred and all that, you know, rah, rah, rah. I think that's where all that comes from. Because it's just like, nigga, you ain't show me what you showing Jake. And I think he a little bit jealous of Jake too. Like, nigga, you got it good. Like, look how this dude was taking care of you and doing all and teaching you all the right things and stuff. He didn't do that with me. And look how my life turned out. So I think that's where the disconnect come from and stuff. And Reg do want to be a good guy, but it's like he can't. It's like he can't. It's built in him to be an asshole. So I think that's where it comes from. But in this scene, you really see it, because that nigga was about to cry on the other side of the door. And we ain't never seen Reg with no feelings. And he was about to cry. So it's like, damn, these motherfuckers really hate me, and this is not my fault. But he also got to take some responsibility for the things that he did on his own after Victor had went to jail. I don't know, y'all. I hope they work it out, but we're gonna see how that go. So didn't I tell y'all? You see, I'm psychic. I told y'all. So Emmett sets up the nice little, you know, romantic. They both in their pajamas, and he decorates the living room and all type of stuff. Now listen, y'all, to each his own. Some people might think, some women might look at that and think that shit is so cheap. That shit is so cheap. But I thought it was cute. I thought it was real cute. It would have been real cute if he had some more pictures of them when they was real young, like when they was in like middle school and high school and shit, like when they was real small. It would have been real cute. But it was nice, you know, he had all the family pictures. He had the pictures of their kids and all type of stuff like that. So then, you know, he had annihilators and all type of stuff. So then they doing and they talking to each other about how much they mean to each other and all type of stuff. And then he gets down on one knee and pulls out the ring. And she's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. He's like, yeah, it was my mom's. And I'm like, yo, Jada. Jada. And then she get down on her knee. And she starts telling him how much he mean to her and all type of stuff. And what happened, y'all? They proposed to each other. And I did not say that if it ever came down to it, it doesn't happen a lot, because y'all really got to be in tune. That got to be your ace right there. If I was getting proposed to, I would like to do it like that, where we propose to each other. But in the event that doesn't happen, nigga, I'm not proposing to you. You gonna have to propose to me. But that was cute. That was cute what they did, and I liked it. It was very nice. I choked up a little bit. Especially when he pulled out the ring and was like, "It was my mom's ring." I'm like, "Oh, Jada." Jada didn't have to go. It was too soon. She had just got better. I don't understand. But anyway, we're not going to get into that because I'm going to get all emotional. So then the next scene, another scene that we really didn't need. Bakari's sitting on the couch watching. What the fuck was he watching? Cooley High. He was watching Cooley High. And Lene come downstairs. I don't know where she thought she was going. Like, first of all, girl, if you trying to make your ex mad because your ex is staying with you, and you trying to make your ex-man, girl, you come downstairs in your freakum dress. You don't come downstairs with a fake-ass Pam Anderson hat on and a big-ass coat. You don't come downstairs like that. Girl, you gotta come downstairs with your titties sitting up high and with the cleavage out and the baby oil and all type of stuff, and you gotta have a little thigh showing and all type of stuff, even if you got a jacket, like, cause it's Chicago. So even if you got a jacket, you just have that shit over your arm, like, and be pretending that you looking for your purse or your earrings or some shit like that. Let that nigga see you. Let him see you. And then you can start your shit. She came downstairs with the big ass, ugly ass, fake ass Pamela Anderson hat on. The big ass fuzzy hat and a jacket. And he's like, where you going? She like, I'm going out. He's like, and where's out? And she's like, I don't got to answer to you. And she's like, you move back in here and we just living together, but we are not together. And he's like, but you just called me over here the other night. And she's like, well, even still, I don't got to answer to you and whatever. And he's like, you know what? Enjoy your night. And she's like, okay. Okay. That was a scene we didn't need because, like I said, she didn't do it right. You ain't supposed to come, girl, you supposed to come downstairs with your titties out, like with your titties sitting up high. And your and snatch, your waist gotta be snatched up. You gotta be looking like something to eat. That's how you get these niggas. You gotta come downstairs looking like you about to get your back broken by another nigga. Like if another nigga see you, he gonna bust your shit wide open. That's how you gotta come downstairs. You don't come downstairs with no big ass coat and a big ass hat talking about, nigga, we just live together. I don't gotta answer to you. She be pissing me off. But anyway, next scene. That was a scene we didn't need, but that's what happened. So Rashad and Patience is at the people's house. You know, the people that they know. I don't know their names because they're not regular characters. But they all sitting there and they all telling their little cute stories. How did you meet? No, how did you meet? And telling all the shit. And then they both get phone calls and they find out that Nora is dead. And Rashad is all heartbroken. I promise y'all, that's going to be a big problem for their relationship. Because now, he met the little boy. He met her son or whatever. And he was like, oh, he tried to play that tough shit like his father. And he was like, well, when y'all going to have babies? Because I'm tired of being the only child. You good. Like, he did all that stupid shit. But now, it's like, you said that you had her protected and now she dead. So Rashad gonna be looking at her like, yo, you lied or you did this or you did that. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a problem in their relationship. This whole Nora shit, that's gonna cause some conflict in their relationship. So yo, now we getting to the ending. So Victor pulls up on Tiff. He like, yo, sit down. I gotta tell you something. She's like, so just tell me. He's like, no, I need you to sit down. She's like, nigga, I could take bad news standing up. He's like, yo, do you remember Zay? She like, yeah, Zay that killed Rob. He's like, nah, it wasn't Zay that killed Rob. She like, how you know? How you know that? He's like, it was Nuck that killed Rob. And she like, how you know that? You ain't got no proof. How you know that? And he plays her the tape. And she's like, and girl, I don't know why you putting on a show because you knew. Like I told y'all, I felt like Tiffany knew. Just based on how she was acting. The fact that she moved this nigga in. She was doing all type of stuff with this dude. But at the same time, it wasn't like, you love me, ill. You want to be with me forever, ill. Like she was really on some shit like, yeah, we kicking it, but nah. Like it's like she knew. And then if y'all remember, the last season or the second to last season. Yes, the second to last season before Alicia got killed. And she was in the car and she was like, I don't know. I know that Alicia killed Zay, but something don't feel right. I feel like she got the wrong guy. And she told Nuck that. Nuck was in the car with her. And he's like, why you feel like that? He said, I feel like she got the wrong guy. Tiff, you knew. You put on a big show. But Tiff, you knew. So she like, I knew I couldn't trust him. So Victor's like, so what you want to do? Victor wanted that nigga because he want Tiff. He want to be all in between her knees. He want to break her back all the way in, because every time he had the opportunity to break her back in, some shit happened. And he, the one thing I can say about Vic is a gentleman. He's a real gentleman, because plenty of times there were plenty of times when he could have went straight savage on her ass and he didn't do it. So now it's like, nah, nigga, I was just in jail. I was just in jail for the longest time. I was in jail for the longest time. Listen, I'm ready to break some niggas' jaws. And I come home and you with this dude? Nah, he got to go. He got to go. So, Vic is like, well, what you want to do? Nut comes home. And nigga, you should have known, because all the lights was off in the house. Nut comes home. He like, yo, Tip, where you at? She's like, I'm upstairs. He should have known. You a street nigga. You come home and all the lights is off in the house. You don't see nobody. You don't hear nobody. Then you call out for your girl and she like, I'm upstairs. He come upstairs and open the door to the bedroom, and Victor's just standing there looking like the Grim Reaper. He like, yo, what the fuck? Tiff ain't waste no time. She walked up. This is for Rob. Pow! She peeled his muffin cap back. Blue. 2 shots to the head. Took that nigga out. That was so corny. But that was so corny. Because, listen, I thought Nuck was going to go out in a blaze of glory. I really did. I didn't think Nuck was going to go. I knew he was going to die. I knew Nuck was going to die. Because all the villains died. Alicia died. Duda died. The older dude that Duda was working for, he died. Like, all the villains died. So I knew Nuck was going to have his day. But that was too quick. The 2 to the head, and it's just, I'm upstairs. And he come upstairs and get shot. I was hoping to see more. Lena. Now I'm upset because we ain't gonna see his fine ass for the next episode. But it's too quick. It's too quick. So either it's not many episodes left, or they just fucked up with that. But yeah, that was too quick. Like, all right, he gone now, and it may seem that everything is gonna be all right, and everything is, well, Nuck is out of the picture now, so Bakari ain't got nothing to worry about, Victor ain't got nothing to worry about, Tiff ain't got nothing to worry about, none of that. Like, yes, it may look that way, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's what's going to go on now, because it was too easy. They took him out too easy. And now, 2 things can happen. That nigga Smitty, that Kyla Pratt's character is messing with, that was another scene we didn't need, where she was just like, yes, I deserve good treatment, and I deserve nice things, and I deserve nice treatment, and I heard that you like to beat bitches, and I'm not going for that. And he's like, yeah, I don't do that shit no more. And you right, you do deserve good things, and I'm gonna give it to you, but I don't do that no more. So either this nigga Smitty gonna take over, or he gonna go join up with Reg. I don't know. I feel like he might be doing his own thing. And it might create a problem, because dumb niggas don't like Bakari. Regardless of Nuck, dumb niggas don't like Bakari. So, but yeah, y'all, that was it for this episode. Y'all, Nuck is gone. Nuck is dead. 2 shots to the head. 2 shots to the head. He ain't go out like no G. Like, I'm telling you, that I'm upstairs pissed me off. I was like, is this how they gonna get him? And the fact that Tiffany did it. I wanted Victor to do it. Because I feel like Victor would have been more street with it. Like, Victor probably would have asked him a whole bunch of questions, and why you do this, and why you do that, and shot him in the foot, shot him in the leg, made him suffer a little bit, and then took him out. I thought that's what was gonna happen. But I'm not the writer. But yeah, y'all, let's do this again. Same time next week. We gonna see what happens, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all like this review. And again, like I said, we be back here next time. next week, same time, and we're gonna see what the fuck happens with these people. Cause what is going on? Too fast. Slow it down a little bit. You gotta let shit marinate. You gotta let shit marinate. Y'all not letting stuff marinate enough. It might not be too many episodes left. That's why. But y'all, we gonna see. But yeah, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Again, I ain't saying no names. I love you, girl. But make sure y'all hit that bell so that y'all know when I post again. You have to hit the bell. Otherwise, you ain't gonna know. You just gonna be coming on YouTube like, oh, she posted. I didn't even know. How old is this video? And then by the time you see the video, it's like time for the next one. Listen, y'all got to hit the bell and y'all got to subscribe. Again, that is the deal. If I love you, you have to love me back. And you can show me that you love me back by subscribing and hitting the fucking bell. All right? Yes, but I love y'all. I love y'all so much, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Hostile takeover, you better learn it. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it. That's Tracy Michelle, putting the whole city down. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it. Tracy Michelle.